TGIF, it's Friday the 10th of March, 2023, or so they'd have us believe. For me, it's just another day where I got a bunch of stuff to do, but for some of you, it's a special day, Friday, the beginning of the weekend. I'll help you celebrate it. In fact, when I get some more stuff done, I may just have to mosey on down to the Bottom Feeder Pit later this afternoon and enjoy myself a tall, cool, crisp Millennium Budweiser. For all you do, this Bud's for you. Now, I'll tell you what, people, it doesn't surprise me in the least. When I announced my retirement from the wall, you know the wall, the cold ass wall, my channel was approaching 260 subs. Now, I'm not bragging, I'm just stating the facts. Today, it's just only 253. I'm really kind of sort of thinking I pissed a few people off with yesterday's podcast. And again, not surprising. When you attack someone's play pretty, someone's deeply held convictions, multiplied by many years, reinforced by their lifelong association with other Christians, and their church attendance, be it in a building of dubious design or TV televangelicals, when you celebrate your holiest day of the year, Christmas, or the Mass of Christ, parroting your very cool slogans, Jesus is the reason for the season, and keep Christ in Christmas, and then some asshole like me comes along and attacks all that you hold near and dear, I get it, people. People will leave. They will have nothing more to do with you, not never. And unfortunately, I won't be able to reach those people anymore. I won't be able to tell them goodbye, thanks for stopping and shopping, and to tell them I agree, by all means, keep Christ in Christmas. A pagan deity celebrated in pagan traditions? Roman pagan tradition, like the Roman Saturnalia celebrations in late December. Well, Shazam, Romans sure keeps popping up a lot lately. The brutal reality is, however, I can't let thin-skinned, weak people slow me down or hold me back. It can't happen. It won't happen. Will never happen. We're in a war, people. I've told you this 100,000 times. An asymmetrical war. And Team Evil is fixing to open a serious can of whip ass on us all sooner than we think. Now, my motto or creed on this channel has always been accuracy. If I'm wrong, point it out and I will correct it. Don't just run away and hide and leave. Come on, say, hey, you're full of shit and here's why. I will correct it if you prove me wrong. Unfortunately, and you simply must believe me, there are times lately I wish I was wrong. So, moving on, with a few more details spinning off of yesterday's unpopular podcast, I have a couple of Albert Pike quotations for you. You most lucky channel hanger-oners that you are. The first quote, Masonry is a search after light. That search leads us directly back, as you see, to the Kabbalah. Now, what is the Kabbalah? Well, first, let me tell you what it isn't. Kabbalah is not scriptures. Kabbalah is not English translations of scriptures. Kabbalah is an esoteric method, discipline, and school of thought in Jewish mysticism. Kabbalah is the oral traditions of the Pharisees. Rightly did our Savior condemn these so-called Pharisees. Briefly, oh yeah, and you guys knew this was coming. Come on, people. It will be very painless. Briefly, let me read to you from Mark chapter the 7th, starting on verse 1, just so we get the context. Who's doing the talking to who? Mark 7, verse 1, the Pharisees and certain scribes who came from Jerusalem gathered around him. Well, who's him? Well, him will be our Savior. Dropping down to verse 6, he answered, who's he? Oh, there you go, he's our Savior. Well, has Isaiah prophesied of you hypocrites, as it is written, these people honor me with their lips, but their hearts are far from me. In vain do they worship me, teaching as doctrines the precepts of men. For laying aside the commandment of God, you hold the tradition of men. There you go, people. The tradition of men. The oral tradition of the elders. The Kabbalah. And what's esoteric mean? Well, esoteric is the inner circle of the few chosen few that are let in all the details. Contrast that in Freemasonry with the exoteric, the outer circle of the many. It's kind of like the Ballad of the Green Berets, made famous in the 1960s by Sergeant Barry Sadler. 100 men will test today, but only 3 win the Green Beret. Guys, remember that kitschy tune? It's doubtful your cousin, brother, uncle, or whomever that made it to the 3rd degree, Master Mason, is of any real concern. These are the exoteric Masons. Want to sell a little insurance, have a few beers, tell some dirty jokes. These are the 100 we'll test today. And out of the outer circle, the best and the brightest move on to the higher degrees and join the esoteric, or inner circle of Freemasonry. Like our good friend, Dan the Mason Man. He claims to be a 32nd degree Mason. These are the ones you gotta watch. Now remember, I recently told you, I said, Dan the Mason Man, guy who hangs out at the bottom Peter Pit. I said, we are watching you, friend, like a hungry hawk circling an unawares gulper, soon to be lunch. Of course, far more info on the Kabbalah you could get from you-know-who. You can always ask Murray. However, you'll have to tolerate his endless whining, and of course, you'll have to buy that professional moocher many drinks. By the way, I hear Murray's in Florida on vacation, pissing off the locals, I'm sure, teaching them how to talk dirty, no doubt. Vacation? Vacation from what? The guy is always on vacation. He doesn't do a goddamn thing. Anyway, you decide if you want to ask Murray anything. Albert Pike's second quote, every Masonic lodge is a temple of religion, and its teachings are instruction in religion. Oh, boy. Oh, yeah. But you don't do religion, do you? And I've told you before, it doesn't matter what you do or don't do, because religion does you, people. And might I add, in a very big way. And then we have the Jesuits, or the Society of Jesus, Hail Caesar, headquartered in the Vatican. Vatican in Rome. Well, there's Rome again. Pagan Rome, ruled by pagan emperors or Caesars, God-men, founded by Ignatius of Loyola. The Jesuits, or Society of Jesus, are the CIA of the holy my-ass Roman Catholic Church, the dirty tricks people. Who was Ignatius of Loyola? Well, he was a crypto Murray, one who outwardly converts to another religion, but inwardly maintains his real religion. And like Albert Pike, Ignatius of Loyola was a Kabbalist. Anybody starting to see the connections around here? Anybody see any common denominators? If not, Murray can point them out to you, if you get my point. Anyway, seriously, I've seriously got stuff to do.